So I have a question for you. When you think about your last hockey game, were you completely dialed in to the present moment? So what I mean by this is when you think back on that game, were you focused on the here and the now? Or was your brain somewhere else? Were you thinking about your coach and what he or she was saying or doing? Were you thinking about the other team and their strategy or what they were bringing to the table? Or did you have some sort of outside disruptor, maybe stress that you were bringing from home and you're bringing to the bench? So again, were you able to dial in to that present moment? If not, I've got some good news for you because I've got some tips on the other side. Hi, I'm Scott Shortley, and I'm a performance and sports psychologist with GritBase, where we're all about helping you become a better hockey player. All right, so for this conversation, what I want to focus on is how to dial into the present moment every time you play hockey. So when you think about that upcoming game that you have, either this summer or obviously when the fall season kicks in, how do you actually dial into the present moment? Well, specifically, I've got 3 suggestions on how you can actually do this. So number 1 is embrace the power of excitement. So according to a Harvard study done not too long ago by Dr. Allison Brooks, what they basically concluded is that your feelings of anxiety and your feelings of excitement are exactly the same thing, or at least that's what your brain thinks. It really can't distinguish the difference between the two. So if you think about anxiety, that's usually coupled with things like worry, or more importantly, something bad like overthinking, which is something you do not want to do when playing this wonderful game. So instead of overthinking or feeling anxious, just understand that you can convert those feelings into excitement, or at least trick your brain into doing that. So you know yourself better than anybody else. So what can you do to cultivate excitement and sort of move your brain and channel your energy in that direction? Well, a good place to start is obviously in a place of gratitude. So being thankful that you have the opportunity to play this game, or maybe this is the team you've been looking for to play, for a long time. So use that as an excitement. Or maybe you have an opponent, maybe you're a defenseman and there's a left winger or a right winger that you like to play against because the challenge of playing with them allows you to level up yourself and your game and channel in and dial in on the excitement around that opportunity. So whatever it may be, find things within the game to get excited. And by doing this, by channeling your energy in this direction, you can avoid the negative trap of something like anxiety and overthinking. All right, let's talk about number 2. So number 2 is all about trusting your instincts. So more so than any other sport, hockey provides a tremendous opportunity to do just that, to trust your instincts. So if you think about how fast this game moves, yes, you can have tactics, and yes, you can have strategies, but at the end of the day, whatever is happening in that split moment where decisions have to be made quickly, that's generally going back to instinct. So trust them. So how do you do this? Well, there's a great book by Timothy Gallwey called The Inner Game of Tennis. Long story short, he talks about having a self 1 and a self 2. So if you think about self 1, this is that, again, going back to this word, that overthinking part of your personality. It's the sort of dictator, who's out there providing the instruction, telling how things should be done, or at least orchestrating how things should be done. Self 2 is more of your instinctual part of yourself. So if you think about brushing your teeth, driving your car, obviously you've learned those skills at some point in your life, but usually self 2, the instinctual part of yourself, is doing it without you even thinking. Yet when you get on the ice, all of a sudden we extend all this authority and power to self 1 to tell us that we're a loser, or we don't know how to play this game, or we have a terrible shot, or we don't know how to angle well, or whatever it may be. We let self 1 do all the talking. So the main idea here is shut down self 1 and let self 2 emerge in that moment. And so again, trust your instincts, trust your training, quiet that overthinking, and just play the game. And play it because you love it, because it's fun. And again, it goes back to number 2. It goes back to number 1, sorry. Again, find the excitement, and if you can dial into that excitement, it really feeds well into this number 2 point here that we're talking about, which is trusting your instincts. All right, now let's talk about number 3. So number 3 is about not focusing on the outcome. So again, if you think about this overthinking mentality that really kind of has become a theme here of sort of the antithesis of being dialed into the present moment, If you're overthinking, you're focused on the scoreboard. You're focused on the outcome of, hey, I've got to get an assist tonight, or I've got to score a goal tonight. Put that to the side. Don't focus on the outcome. Focus on the process. So obviously you've put time, you've put energy, you've invested yourself in your training, in your practice sessions, in your off-ice drills. Trust that training, trust that process, and trust that you have the right strategies and the tactics, and you've got the right game plan, which is ultimately going to lead to the results that you want, and it's going to lead to success. So don't focus on the outcome, focus on the process. By doing this, it's going to allow you to stay dialed into the present moment. So as we wrap up here, what did we talk about? All right, so to be dialed into the present moment, you really need to do three things. Number one, embrace the power of excitement. Again, your brain doesn't know the difference between anxious feelings and excited feelings. So embrace those feelings of excitement. Number two, trust your instincts. Again, you've got self one, you've got self two. Let self two do all the work. Let it emerge to the surface when you're out there doing your thing. And then number three, we've talked about focusing really on your game rather than the outcome. So don't focus on the results, don't focus on the outcome, trust the process, and just play the game. If you can do these three things, they're gonna allow you to dial into the present moment. And by doing this, hopefully you should see some tremendous results both on and off the ice. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.